Today we will be discussing gun control versus the Second Amendment. Should Americans have the right to bear arms, or are they causing too many deaths in the United States?
The debate about gun control versus the protections of the Second Amendment have been ongoing for years, but let's first take a look at the history.
First, the Bill of Rights was added to our U.S. Constitution in 1791. It guaranteed certain individual freedoms, including the Second Amendment, which states, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed."
Georgia was the first to bring gun control to action. In 1837, they passed the law to ban handguns, but later the law was ruled unconstitutional and was thrown out.
In 1865, several southern states adopted the Black Code, which meant people of any color were not able to own a gun. People did not like this and rioted against it.
In 1927, the U.S. Congress passed a law banning the mailing of concealable weapons.
The Gun Control Act of 1968 was enacted for the purpose of keeping firearms out of the hands of those not legally entitled to possess them because of age, criminal background, or incompetence.
In 1977, the District of Columbia enacted an anti-handgun law which also required restriction of all rifles and shotguns within the District of Columbia.
The Crime Control Act of 1990 bans manufacturing and importing of semi-automatic assault weapons in the U.S.
First pro of gun control is that it will reduce gun deaths, but it will not deter crime.
The presence of a gun makes conflict more likely to become violent. Gun control helps avoid that, but strict gun control laws make self-defense much harder.
Okay. With guns, there will be decreases in criminal attacks, but increases in potential gun-related incidents. For example, citizens have a better ability to defend themselves against an intruder. However, this could result in an increase in gun accidents, injuries, and/or death.
Having the right to bear arms both increases and decreases crime. With guns, people are able to better protect themselves and their
Of the 2,596,993 total deaths in the U.S., 1.3% were related to firearms in 2013.
So why is this such a problem? Gun control has been an issue that has been discussed about since around 1968. There has been debates among whether to make stricter laws and even ban them, or protect the Second Amendment. Gun control laws make self-defense much harder and makes people that hunt or shoot for a sport complicated. The laws will also not prevent criminals from obtaining guns or decreasing suicides. The Second Amendment increases potential of gun-related accidents and may increase more crimes. There are a lot of pros and cons between the two.
What does current research tell us about this issue? According to usnews.com, in the past 2 years, gun issues have reached the nation's highest court. In 2008, the Supreme Court case of Columbia v. Heller Court ruled that the Constitution protects individual rights to own a gun, but only for personal use. This decision only applied to federal laws and not the state laws. Later on, in July 2010, the Supreme Court ruled federal rights to bear arms that now also applies to the state laws. The NRA decided they will not specify what gun laws can be applied to the Second Amendment.
What will happen if this issue is not addressed? If this issue is not properly addressed, then what will probably happen is that there will be more feuding on the debate, and the government will not come to a solution. If guns were banned, then people would be forced to buy them illegally, and prices would go up on firearms. It would be harder for civilians to protect themselves. Another con for gun control is that when people want to purchase firearms, gun laws require background checks and may require microfinger stamping, which can invade your privacy. Some pros of the Second Amendment are that there will be decreased chances in criminal attacks and may reduce crime. It creates a sense of safety from violence.
And so part of the reason I think that this ends up being such a difficult issue is because people occupy different realities. There are a whole bunch of law-abiding citizens who have grown up hunting with their dad or going to the shooting range and are responsible gun owners. And then there's the reality that there are neighborhoods around the country where it is easier for a 12 or 13-year-old to purchase a gun and cheaper than it is for them to get a book.